Well, the Home Affairs Department, as we know, is notorious for long queues and systems that are often offline, despite providing crucial services. So, Home Affairs Deputy Minister Njabulo Nzuza made an unannounced visit this week to one of the branches in East London, and he got to see firsthand what residents there are subjected to. In fact, he joins us in studio this morning. Deputy Minister, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming in. You know, I think South Africans particularly enjoy when our ministers get to see what we experience, for example, in Home Affairs. Tell us what happened.
Well, firstly, we went there because we wanted to make sure that the services that we planned for when we are sitting in our offices in Pretoria is actually the service that our clients who are citizens eventually get.
Right.
So we got there very early to make sure that we observe the opening times.
And just to be clear, you were dressed in civvies.
Yes.
There was nothing to identify you as the Deputy Minister or any government official.
Yes.
Right.
We definitely make sure.
Okay.
To think of it, I actually carried the suit. Then I decided to go and get some civvies. We got some civvies. We walked in the morning, early hours. We made sure that they open on time. Indeed, they did open on time. The first thing that we observed was around how clients are treated by some of our security members when they go and ask questions about the queues, which queue to join in, what is this queue for, what is the process. And we observed quite a very rude, kind of a response. And we did not like that. We continued to stay on the queue because we wanted to also make sure that people who are on the queue are serviced according to where they are on the queue.
So when you were standing in the queue, you went up, did you go up to one of the security guards, or did you get one of your...
I actually sent an official because I was also worried because they stayed there for longer, so my picture is there in the offices. So if I just pitch up, that will obviously, blow up the whole thing. So I sent one of the officials. But even ultimately, when I confronted the security officer to ask her, look, why are you ill-treating people here? Not just my official, but we have observed you ill-treating other people. Why are you doing that? The responses that we got were quite shocking. In fact, she just turned her back on us and then moved on, wanted to continue doing what she was doing. But one of the things in terms of systems now is that we have a long-term solution of building purpose-built offices that are for us, so that people, even if they stand in queues, they are able to be assisted. But that's a long-term thing. But short-term, we have a branch booking appointment system where people can book, but people are not using it. So it means we must make sure that we encourage people to use it so that they are serviced by the time they enter. But as an immediate issue, we spot chairs so that people could sit in chairs whilst they wait in the queue outside. What we discovered is that the chairs were not there. We asked why the chairs are not there. Someone just took a decision to just turn the chairs back. And we were appalled to say, but we bought these chairs so that people can have a sense of convenience. Why are we not using them? Someone decided to turn them back under the fear that the chairs will be stolen, which to us was a very lame excuse.
So how far in the queue did you get, Minister? Deputy Minister, did you actually get into the office and make your application?
Yes, we eventually got to the office. We did not have applications to make because already I was raising questions while standing in the queue. Why are there no chairs? So immediately when we got in there, we had an influx of people complaining about certain things. One lady being turned away where she was not supposed to be turned away. When you apply for your birth certificate, you can apply in any office. But our staff had told the lady that, look, please go away. So we had to make an immediate intervention to say, look, why are you doing this? You have been trained in this. And what we are giving us as an excuse is also not acceptable. You must make sure that you service the client according to the service that we have planned for.
So, Deputy Minister, this is what people go through at Home Affairs. You talked about the booking service, which is online. From what I can gather, people are trying to use the booking service, but they find once they get to a Home Affairs branch that it doesn't matter whether you've booked for a particular time slot.
It shouldn't be the case. If you book for a certain time slot, we issue the ticket and give you that particular time slot. I've not heard of any incidences where people have had problems, but I will accept that there will be, and if there will be, they must just launch the complaint, because that's not how the system is designed. The system is designed that you book, you get a date, you get time. When you get there, we assist you there and there. We have had quite a number of positive reviews, but that does not mean that everything is running smoothly. As I've said, that the incidences that we saw, they need to be dealt with, most of them through consequence management, because the systems that we have designed are supposed to give joy to our customers, who are our clients and who are our citizens.
I think there are very few people who say that they find any joy in visiting a Home Affairs office. In fact, most South Africans will tell you it is a nightmare to try and get any kind of documentations from Home Affairs. So this particular branch now in East London, the officials who, as you say, turned the woman away in terms of a birth certificate, I think you mentioned.
Yes.
The security guard who was very rude to one of your officials, it gives you a sense of how customers are treated when they're just trying to ask for information. What happens now at this particular branch?
Well, they have to undergo some processes to ascertain the wrongness that they've gone through, and then we will take the decisions. As you will know, the labor processes are quite sensitive. It's not something that you can just say, we'll do this, but just make sure that you take them through the process. The other thing is that we have had experience of people who are doing wrong things. I mean, we've been affecting arrests throughout the country of people who are doing wrong things. We have learned on how to handle those particular cases up until they see a conclusion to a level where you have actually convictions. So we are not just doing this as a publicity issue. It's also an issue of making sure that all our offices around the country, they are alert that we can pitch up at any given moment in time. And if we find people not offering level of service they are supposed to be offering, there will be consequences.
You'll have to do a disguise next time, though, because now they might know that you're coming. After seeing you here on this interview.
Yeah, fortunately, we don't tell. Well, they sit with my photo every day in the offices, so they should be knowing my face by now. Yeah. So we'll continue, because even the queues, they are just outside, so you put in a beanie, whatever you put in, make sure that no one sees you, you are able to establish what is there. So
in terms of the system upgrade, because the frustration, even from officials at Home Affairs, is around the slowness of the system. And constantly being offline. Where are we in terms of upgrading our actual Home Affairs system?
Well, in the back end, it's one of the things that pains us the most, the issue of our network architecture, how it is structured. What if I can just give you a brief example? We have what we call switching centers. And in an instance where there is load shedding, those switching centers go down. And as a result, our branches are unable to connect.
Another impact of load shedding.
Another impact of load shedding that we have. But we had actually put in measures by making sure that those switching centers have generators. And there are people who are supposed to be mending generators. When we went to Tanzania, we discovered that, no, there is a generator that we bought. Some people came in to install the batteries in the generator. Right now, the generator is not working. I asked, but who was supposed to buy the replacement batteries? You discover that for a year, someone has been sitting not buying a replacement battery.
So Home Affairs is doing what needs to be done, but it's at the implementation level that we're failing.
Exactly. Some of the issues are at an implementation level. Yes, we are doing our best in terms of the back-end systems, improving them. You will know that right now we are looking at a digitization program that we are running, employing about 10,000 young people, all of that to make sure that our files are digitized. That gives you better service. When you appear in the front line, we click the computer and we are able to download all your information. We don't have to go to the back end and search for whatever that we might need to search for. So that makes the job quite easy. But those projects need to be backed up by good customer service at the front end.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's the issue always around Home Affairs of allegations of bribery of officials.
We are taking them down. All those people who are involved in collecting briberies, we are taking them down. We've taken some in Beitbridge, Klerksdorp, and everywhere. We are moving. If you look at the minister over the past year, there's been a number of arrests, because what we did was to open a counter-corruption unit that specifically goes undercover, looks for cases, find who is doing wrong, and we arrest them. And if any of our officials are continuing to do that, they must know that we'll eventually get to them and we'll make arrests.
Well, let's hope this is the start of really revamping the services being provided by Home Affairs. Deputy Minister Njabulo Nzuza is on a blitz, so be warned. This is fair warning now. Be warned, you might be rocking up at one of the Home Affairs offices around the country in disguise to see how services are rendered. Deputy Minister, thanks very much.
And thank you very much for having us.